Now, the next feature that I'd like to implement in our backdoor is to be able to access the file system. Right now, our backdoor does not allow us to change the working directory. We're only stuck at the location where the backdoor is running from. So, let me just show you the behavior of the cd command. Usually on a Windows computer, if you just type cd without anything, it'll show you your current working directory, which is at users zaid python projects right now. Now, just like in Linux, you can do cd followed by the location where you want to change your working directory. For example, if we want to go back one step, we type ... Now, if I just type cd on its own, you'll see that I went back to users zaid. Now, I can list the directories in here by doing dir. And then let's say if I wanted to open the downloads, I can just do cd downloads. Again, now if I do cd on its own, it'll show me where I am. So, right now in my backdoor, let me go back to the directory which contains my backdoor. So it's back one step, and then it's Python projects. And if I run the backdoor, let's just listen for incoming connections first and run it. Now, if we just execute the cd on its own, you'll see that this works fine and it'll show me my current working directory because this is a normal Windows command and our code allows us to execute system commands. But the problem happens when I do cd ... You'll see that I'll get nothing, thinking that I actually moved back, but if I do cd again, you'll see I'm still in the same working directory, and the main reason for this is because anything that we type in here gets passed to the check output method, which literally executes a system command, waits for the output, and sends it back to us. So when we try to go somewhere else, it'll execute this as a normal command, but it will not change our current working directory. So we have to manually implement this in our code. So first of all, I'm going to exit and I'm going to go to my backdoor code. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to implement a method and we'll call this change working directory to. And this method will take self and a path to change the current working directory to it. Now, I've already covered how to change the current working directory when we made the download and execute script, I think. And we did this by doing os.changedir. And then we put the path that we need to change the current working directory to as an input to this function. Finally, when we're done with this, we're gonna return a message saying changing working directory to, and we'll append the path to the end of this message. And since we're using the OS library, we're gonna have to import it in here. And that's it. Now we have a method that we can use to change our current working directory. So now we can forget about how this works and we can just call it from our code. And let's have a look on the if statement that we have so far. So we're checking if the first element of the command list is equal to exit, then we're gonna exit. Then I'm gonna add another check in which I'm gonna say elif, which is an else if, again, the command, and we're checking the first element to see if it's equal to cd. Then we're gonna call self.change working directory to, and we need to pass the path that we want to change our working directory to as an input. Now, just like we've seen before, the path is going to be the second element of the input, so it's going to be the command square brackets 1. And finally, if the command was not cd or exit, we're going to do else. Then I want you to execute the command as a normal system command. Now I should also set my command result in here to be equal to whatever the change working directory method returns. And we've seen that this will return just a message saying that we're going to change the working directory, so that whenever this is returned, it's going to be captured in this variable, and then it will be sent back to the listener. Now, if you just remember at the start of the lecture, I showed you the behavior of the cd command. So if the user just enters cd, this should be executed as a normal system command, because that will just show the current working directory. But if the user enters cd followed by something else, then we want to execute this using our change working directory, so that we change the working directory to the path that the user enters. So this statement needs to be modified, because now if the user enters cd on its own, we'll still try to change the working directory to something, but the user only enters cd, so they only want to see their current working directory. Therefore, we're gonna check if the first element of the command list is cd, and we're also gonna check and the length of the command list is greater than 1, which means that the user entered cd followed by something else. Then we want to change the working directory to this something else. Otherwise, we want to execute the cd as is, and that will show the user their current working directory. Now let's go ahead and test this code. So I'm going to clear the screen and run Python and run the backdoor. And let's just run a normal command like dir, and that will just show us all the directories and files in the current working directory. Now let's try to run cd without anything, and this should show me my current working directory, so it should be executed as a system command. And as you can see, this is working perfectly. Now if I do cd ... what's gonna happen is we're gonna check if command 0 is cd, and that's true. Then we're gonna check if the length of the command is greater than 1. Now, since there is a space in here, this will be splitted into an array or a list of 2 elements, in which the first element is the cd and the second element is the ... So when we check if the length of the command is greater than 1, this will be true. And then we will call the change working directory to whatever value we have as the second element of the list, which again is going to be the ... in here. Now if I hit enter, you'll see we get a message telling us that the backdoor is changing our current working directory to ... Now let's do cd on its own to see where we are right now. And perfect, as you can see, it's telling us that we went back 1 directory, so we're in Z right now. Now we can do dir to see all the files and directories. And let's say we want to go to downloads. Then again, we can just do cd downloads. And now it should have changed our working directory to download. So if I do cd, again, you can see that we are in the right place. So perfect. Now we can use our program to navigate through the file system of our target. And you've seen how easy it is to do this now, because we implemented our program properly from the start. We wouldn't be able to send lists and use them as we are doing right now without the way that we implemented our code, because usually we can't send lists or data structures using sockets. We can only send strings. But because we are using JSON, because we have a strong base, we're able to do all of this cool stuff and parse the commands the way we are doing right now.